Hello and welcome to the Faith Building Podcast, episode 73, with your lovely and amazing hosts, Vladi Kuna.
And Norman Greater. Hi, guys.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you watch and listen to us. Today's topic is very interesting because we all age. That's something that's unstoppable for all of us. Like the bus drives towards the same direction for all of us. And Vladi found a very interesting topic by Wayne Dyer, where she found out what changes with males and females turning around 40, if I'm 100% correct. And before I talk too much about that, Vladi, I hand it right to you and just let us know what Wayne Dyer found out back then.
It is such a powerful way he looked at this because it's true. Something happens, shifts, and we're talking about energetic shifts, not just genuinely, but our perceptions change. And yeah, you're right. It's around 40, but it can obviously be individual. It can be 2 years earlier for some and 2 years later. So I wouldn't say exactly 40, but around 40, we have this energetic shift, the way we view life and the way we actually view values of our life. So I'm going to start with males. So this is Wayne Dyer's and important priorities in life. And Wayne says the man before he is 40, our usual top priorities are number one, accumulation of money. Thoughts. So man thinks of supporting a family, having a family, building an empire, like anything related to it. But his top priority is accumulation of money. Number two is a sense of adventure. So in accordance to Wayne, this is where it's literally the guys want to get out there and conquer the world. That's the best way to put it. And number three is achievement. So the priorities in a male's before 40 is very much put on achievement. It's usually how they raised. So, like you're one of those things to do. What are the things to do to achieve? And they prioritize the career, the learning, and they want to achieve. So if we think from a perception of the mindset, that's where your mind is set. Then number four is actually idea of pleasure. So go out and have as much fun as possible in any way. That is in accordance to Wayne, number four. And number five, males want to be respected. In a value system of the 5 top priorities, it's important for them before 40. I'll repeat this. So the top priorities are accumulation of money, number one, sense of adventure, number two, achievement, number three, idea of pleasure, number four, and be respected, number five. Now, around that energetic change of around 40, this shifts hugely. It's a significant shift. And we call it often a quantum leap takes place. And males enter this new, and we say after 40, but again, be open to that number. And they shift to number one, from accumulating money goes to spirituality. So it's a massive shift from accumulating money to spiritually and really learning to understand and be expanding their awareness and want to study. And they are really focused on spirituality. Now, that, if you think about it, was not on the list before at all. So spirituality enters completely. It's not just reshifting the 5 top priorities. It's a whole new level. Number two is a personal peace. More than ever, they value to be at peace. They're not interested in the drama they maybe were fine with in the first 40 years. And it's a focus on having less stress and anxiety, like peace and calm becomes their home. Number three, family moves up to number three. It was way, way down. Although it was on the kind of list when setting a goals, they wanted to accumulate money and do everything for the family, but family wasn't actually on the list. Number four, it's God's will. So now they feel, oh, I have a purpose in life. Whereas before it seemed to be more like a programming. And number five is honesty. So they actually have moved their honesty, and they're very deeply connected to feelings, whether it's feelings, genuinely their own feelings and values. It's more of in the sense of I, as a man, am an honest man. That kind of sense. After 4, the shift's taken. I'll repeat this. For males, number 1 becomes spirituality. Number 2, personal peace. Number 3, family. Number 4, God's will, in a sense of I have a sense of purpose in a life. And number 5, honesty. Let's ask Norman what he thinks about it and what he agrees and disagrees in his life. Like how did this shift? What do you think about those, Norman, as a male?
I think it's very close to the truth. I was just calculating, and I think with 36, probably I started, or 34, 36, started very deeply going into this personal development. And there I found more the spiritual way. So we could say it's around 40-ish. Did money get less interesting later? Now I'm 49 and I realize, yeah, it gets less interesting. That it shifts right around 40 and goes, let's say, completely to spirituality on the first slot. In my case, probably yes, I would agree. The family part was, in my case, more changed, even though right now it becomes more interesting again. So end of 40. I totally agree with that. And I found something as well while you were talking that I wrote down a couple of weeks ago. It says between 21 and 28, we want to conquer the world. General thing, of course. We came out of school, or we come out of school, and of course we want to conquer the world. We want to explore something, see something, do something. Between 28 and 35, we want to bring some continuity in our life. Like now we were running around like a headless chicken and exploring everything and playing around, what was also on the list. And then we say at one point, okay, let's continue, maybe with a stable job or stable relationship, or maybe you want to buy something. I think that's also true. Then between 35 and 42, usually that's the time for building a family. And I think this grew in age. Like when I was younger, and also with me, like I had my first child when I think was 24. But looking in the world now, people get more and more advanced in age, which I think is good, that you have the young years and play around. And then when you become a little bit wiser, you turn towards children. Because with 20, 25, I mean, you don't have that much experience yourself. And turning from a child into a teen, and from a teen having a child. And that's why I like in the old days when the elderly usually took care of the children. In a tribe or in any Indian tribe again.
Yeah.
It was usually that when the male and the female became a child, usually the elders took care of him or her because they had the most experience and they had the most time. They did not had to hassle and hunt the deer and take care of everything in the village. They had time. Then we have one more thing. It's between 42 and 49. And this goes very well in what you shared about Wayne Dyer. We question our whole life. Some call it midlife crisis. And I don't want to call it a crisis. I think it's a deeper look. You look at the things and you ask yourself, is everything that I have and do, job, relationship, friendships, hobbies, the way you treat your body, yourself, other people, is this still aligned energetically with the way I want to be? Because most people realize between 42 and 49 that they have more yesterdays than tomorrow, which means the end gets closer. I'm turning 50, let me think, next year. Next year. And some people say, oh, I had real issues with 40. I can admit to that. I will see how it turns with 50. But at one point you realize, yeah, the end is probably closer than what you have had so far. And therefore, people just wake up and say, you know, I'm working for this company that treats me not well. Yeah, they pay me good, but am I here on this planet to pay the rent? Or am I here to do something different? So regarding your question, I would admit, yes, most of that I can sign that very truthfully that it changes, and usually, yeah, it's around 40, and in my writing 42, 49, it's all a similar direction, that we put everything on the table and question if this is right, and we turn more towards spiritual rather than material, unless the people did not jump on that spiritual train because they think I need to gain more to be more happy, which means they
Yeah.
look more on the outside to get more inside pleasure and joy, until they hopefully at one point realize this just does not work. The true happiness is not on the outside, it's on the inside.
Revaluation time. But
True.
it's really true. It's so true. Because it no longer, I think we fall in love with ourselves to a certain point, and it does come down to with the self-love, because you then value yourself, your time. I find time, respecting my own time and who I spend it with and what I do with my time, has definitely shifted in a way that I didn't really care before.
Yeah,
But let's
I
jump.
have.
Yeah, go.
Before you continue, I realized that as well, and maybe we will speak in the next episode about that, if it should go deeper. I realized that manifestations happen more quickly, like sometimes overnight. Yesterday, I wrote down on my to-do list as a priority today to call the video director who filmed one of my last speeches. What's the status on the video? And this morning, he sent me the link. And there are so many occasions where I put something out and almost instantly it comes back. And I'm not quite sure if this is related. But what you just shared, like you prioritize your friendships and stuff like that, I started doing this beginning of this week, where I really have a priority manager for me. And I do my very best to stay away from the phone as often as I can. And sometimes it happens that I don't listen to a message from a friend for 4 days, because it's not a priority. And a priority means it needs to be done today. But we cannot focus too often on those A priorities because we're so drawn to all directions, and a post here and an email there and then a call, and you're totally disturbed all day long. You're running around like a headless chicken. You get nothing done, but you kind of pleased the whole world. So
Yes.
I'm 100% with you. I choose more and more by the day, and basically really by the day, where I put my energy in and who I focus onto, and what really gives me joy and pleasure. And everything else, I leave even more out.
I love that. I really love that. And it just gives you such a higher quality of life as well. Because before we just want to feel the busyness. And
Yeah.
actually then when you look at the tasks you're doing, half of them are meaningless really for our life. But it's this people pleasing. Oh, that can be another episode. Talking a
Let's do that
whole
for
section.
74 and stick with the
Yes,
male and female energy.
that is a good subject for next one. So let's move to females. And females before 40, number one priority is family. So it's taking care of the family, raising a great family, giving everything, or giving up pretty much in a female's eyes to really give everything to the family. Number two is a sense of independence. So females want to kind of develop the sense of feeling independent, and really, and this is in personal and business life as well. Number three, the focus goes on career, and they just want to be more and do more. So they really place a high value on building a career. Number four is fitting in. Oh, this is so huge for females. They want to be blending with community, whether this is in your friendships or actually a work. It's this feeling of I want to be part of something. And this comes with lots of paradigms and people pleasing and like approval. Really, it's a huge thing in this part. So have to be like everybody else. There's like the Joneses, like in the US, they like everybody looks at the certain group of people or girls, ladies, and I want to be like her. And it's this comparison hugely as well. And that fuels for the later stage, I will insert that now, that feeling not good enough for us. Number 5 is attractiveness. So females really want to just look great, and they focus on a nice look rather than deep values. So this is female. So to actually go through, just to sum up, so family is number 1 for females before 40. Sense of independence is number 2. Career is number 3. Fitting in, being part of being like everybody else, is number 4. And attractiveness, feeling really great, is number 5. But feeling really great in a sense of, do people love me? Do people like me? Not really, do I love myself in that sense. Now, this dramatically shifts after 40s. Now, I'm going to say what Norman said. To me, it happened when I was 38. I could say my massive shift happened when I was 38. And number 1 becomes my own personal growth. I can totally vouch for this. I jumped from financials and taxes and corporations and legal straight into personal development, and literally became obsessed with it. I'm magnificently obsessed. And it's, how am I going to grow up as a human being? It shifts majorly where you start worrying about self-love, self-worthiness, and not really worry about approval. And that takes work. I think that was one of the most challenging work actually for myself as well, because you get to the point where you even feel like, well, I don't really care about approval, and we lie to ourselves. Of course we do, you know, and that comes with really deep paradigms as well. Number 2 is a self-esteem. So we all of a sudden feel that we want to really build an inner confidence, you know, not that the flashy one, the one on the outside, but the inner confidence. And confidence is always stemmed, the foundation for confidence is actually self-esteem. And many people don't talk about this, but that is actually where confidence comes from. Just building your self-esteem and just keep doing things and failing and do it again and really build yourself up. And number 3 becomes spirituality. See, like males go straight to spirituality as a top priority. And for females, it's number 3. It's kind of like making a sense of the higher power connection, realizing there is more. There's perhaps my intuition that is more important than just the competition, what's outside in the world. Listening to what you feel, how certain people make you feel, and how certain situations make you feel, and how you shifting that inside. Number 4 becomes happiness. Just want to be happy. Happy for no reason. I'm gonna add. And number 5, a huge things for female actually becomes forgiveness. And I'm talking about forgiveness in a sense that forgiving, lots of people get forgiveness wrong, because forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is about what happens inside you, what shifts when you forgive yourself. Because, you know, it's like we get angry about our parents and old parents and grandparents and exes and friends and business partners. And this anger is just something that is building from inside. And for us not forgiving someone, or it doesn't have to be someone, obviously it is mostly someone, but it can be not forgiving the situation. You know, like you have high expectations in a business, you have high expectations of yourself in creating a project, and the project doesn't go the way you attach yourself to, the outcome you want to actually achieve, and you don't realize that actually forgiveness is actually one of the processes that needs to happen in this challenge as well. So just to repeat that, it comes from, so we, female after 40, shift to my own personal growth as number 1, sense of self-esteem as number 2, number 3, spirituality, number 4, happiness, and number 5, forgiveness. Now think about this, and I'll just quickly add, I really agree with this, because family was definitely my priority when I actually got married when I was 24, so Norman already had a child, but I didn't have kids until I was actually 30. So I had my first child when I was 30, second when I was 34, and I had plenty of time to travel. So I've done it the good way. I went out, traveled, we backpacked Southeast Asia, zigzagged the US several times, Canada, like we've really experienced life as I always wanted to before having kids. Did the crazy stuff. I've very sometimes some of these I could really fit into the males because of the adventurous, but it really became a massive shift for me, was realizing what truly makes me happy. Not everyone else, not my parents, like they did the best they could with what they had from wherever they are, and I'm really grateful for them. But I know that certain things like choosing a job was always, for me, being in a corporate kind of environment, felt like I am more just because I will be there. I was trading hugely time. I had great financial freedom. I had zero time freedom. And I realized that what's the point of having a great financial freedom when you have no time to actually enjoy it? And also, we do not know how much time we have left. We never know how much time we have left. And how people say, oh, when I'm older, I'm secure. And what if you never actually get to the time where you're older? Are you willing to give up these amazing times? And I can compare even the way we travel now. We went back with kids to US and did the similar things. It's different. It's different when you do things before you have kids, and it's different when you do it after. The worries we have, or the lifestyle we have, the schools, that the life changes. So now you have more responsibilities as well. So, it's not as easy as before you have a family. You can just literally leave. You don't have to explain yourself. It's just you decide what you want to do and go. Now, you can't just do it when you have a family and the kids, like, see you guys, I'll see you in a year. I'm off to an island to do my self-growth. It doesn't quite work. And also we change. And this shifts. Now, put it together. I don't want to over talk about shift male and female energies. And really what's happening is some of us, unfortunately, don't, and I'm not going to say don't shift, I'm going to say resist the shift. They are afraid too much to detach from what they've built. And it really comes down to that. That was the scariest decision I've made, was leave my country, come to the UK with no English. And literally just that felt like absolutely crazy. And another one was leaving a really good established corporate job and jumping into personal development. And it's felt weird, amazing and weird, because end of the day, you're giving up a lot in order to almost start from a zero. And I love this shift, because if you can build yourself to feel the freedom, and we lie to ourselves so much. We say, well, the freedom will come. And people justify themselves spending endless amount of hours in the offices and in the work, and then being stressed over the weekends with all the emails that are coming through, because let's face it, we work 24/7 these days. It no longer happens, like after COVID we thought, we're working online and it's much freer. Well, it isn't, because 9 till 5, sometimes we criticize that I don't want to have a 9 to 5 job. But then again, if you're running your own business, you work 24/7. Actually, a 9 to 5 is an easy way out. But really, look at this energetic shift. The problem we face in the world is one partner decides to grow and is open to the change, and the other doesn't. And it actually creates, it's not that what you've built together is something, it's amazing. You wouldn't be where you are. And remember that you wouldn't be where you are without anyone or anything. So just always be grateful for everything, because it got you to the place where you are now. But what are you going to do with your life now going forward? Are you really happy where you are? And I'm talking about true happiness. Don't trade your life for goals that are actually not worthy of you. Norman, handing it to you.
So true. And I want to bring it home with probably talking about the 6 human needs that just popped in my mind. A couple of minutes ago, I think Tony Robbins taught them. And the first one is certainty. And there are 6, they are in order, but this does not mean that your personal order is the same order. Just we give you the 6 and then you see what's your number 1. Certainty is the number 1 human need we have. Safety, we want to have a roof over our head. We want to make sure that we're not in a war zone, but that everything is stable around us. That's, if you look at Maslow and the pyramid, it's quite similar. The second one is basically the total opposite. Tony calls it uncertainty, which means more adventurous, what we also spoke about in this episode. You want to go out, you want to experience something, you want to live. So you're not the certain person, the safe person, but you want to have freedom. Freedom is a very important thing. Number three, I want to call it power. You want to be seen, you want to have the golden business card, you want a business car, you want to shine bright like a diamond, that other people see you. That's number three. Number four is love and connection. At one point in your life, love becomes just more important to you, and you realize it's not about power, it's not about ego, it's not about showing off, it's more about, hey, I'm here with other people on this planet and I want to connect more with them. Number five is growth, where you say, I grew up from my physical body probably as a late teenager and you cannot grow anymore, but at one point you want to grow mentally, and some people are not interested in that. They read their last book when they finish school and not one book afterwards, and others say, no, there must be more. I'm interesting. I'm keen in finding out what else is around the next corner and under the next stone. And number six is giving something back. And giving something back is not, oh, I give my work power because you receive money for that. That's a trade. But giving back would be more like Jesus, Buddha, Mother Teresa maybe, where you love basically unconditionally, and out of this unconditional love you give and you expect nothing back. No money, no service, no thank you, no nothing. You just give because giving gives you so much pleasure. And honestly, I don't know one person right now that's alive on this planet that just gives. Because everything costs something. Usually it costs money or some other kind of effort, or people want to have something bad. But I don't know anyone who just shares and gives and wants nothing back. No applause, no likes, no money, no nothing. And that's totally okay. Which basically leaves us to 5 out of 6. Now question number 1 is, because every behavior you have, every action you do is triggered by your human need that's on the first position with you. And for me, it's growth, absolutely growth. And when Vladi went over the female points and how it changes and shifts from you become more self-aware and you want to grow more and you're more spiritual, I think I invested, it must be more than 500,000 by now in personal development, where other people say, oh, you gave mentors, you gave programs, training, so much money. No, I invested in myself that I grow. Because everything else, the car, the food, the house, the swimming pool, it's nice, but somebody could take it away. It could be a storm, it could be the tax people, it could be the neighbor, it could be whatever. But the knowledge you have, the experience about growing, nobody can take that away from you. So in my case, it's the most precious thing, and this means I would do very, 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 very many things to grow. Safety is not that important, or uncertainty and uncertainty, adventure, freedom. If I could stay home all day long, I would survive. Power, the outside thing, I don't need that anymore. Love and connection, yeah, would be tough, but I can survive on my own. It's totally okay. But if you take growth away from me, I think I would go down within a couple of days. Just look at yourself. What's your number one human need? Because, like I said, all your actions are triggered by that. And always take in consideration when you're around 40-ish that things might change. Don't freak out. Don't throw everything totally overboard. Just have a look at it, reconsider, and then, take for you the right decision. And I leave it to Vladi to close today's call with whatever is on your mind.
I'll just close it with really blending what you just said. Mine is growth too. And when we blend it into how you view life, it's really important you actually blend it how you view life. And it's regarding your love and relationships, your health and well-being, your money and time freedom, and your job and a life path. And for me, as a female, we're talking about females and males. For me, it was really 20 years ago, I looked how the guy looked, and how he was driven and all this stuff. For me, if guy is not interested in growing himself, and really that attitude, you can feel the energy from a people, I'm not interested. And like we're talking about what you attract, but you will actually notice that because that becomes your number one, you actually start surrounding yourself with that people because you're no longer happy with everyone else. And that's how we started this podcast. You no longer want to spend time because that's the most precious commodity you have, with people or doing things that actually are not fueling your soul. And the more you realize that, and if there's something that is standing up, just change it. You can just change it. It's so easy, although not easy maybe straight away, but it is really much easier. Just take the first step and change. And that's what we'll leave you with. And we will see you next week. And thank you for being with us.
Bye bye.